Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? How's it hanging? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. I am your host, Carl. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome. Oh, I still got the Lethal Collective thing up there. Whoops. There we go. All right. Yeah, we got things, got to fix things up because, you know, we were just streaming over on the Lethal Collective. Make sure to check out that page where I stream with a bunch of other awesome YouTubers. That's, of course, the Night Watch Zone, Fate Decided, and Craven Something Scary. So check that out. We vibe over there. But what's up, everybody? How's it going? Extron's here. What's up, man? Anakin quoting some Sydney Prescott. It's one of my favorite lines from her. Some good stuff right there. I'm bored. Wait! Oh, God. I shot him 6 times. I love it, Anakin. Good stuff. Tom is here. What's up? What's up, Tom? How's it going, man? Saying, hey, Jake, hope all is well. I really hope they bring back Bill Skarsgård for Welcome to Derry. What are they doing if they don't? That's what I say. That's what I say, Tom. Like, seriously, what even is the new It movies a continuation without Bill Skarsgård? Seriously. Austin Daniels is here as well. Hey, guys, what's up? What's up, Austin? Rawl is Jakin' and Bacon. Nice. Enjoy. Smoke responsibly, my friend. It has been legalized in 2 more states. Some great stuff. Hate to get all political, but it's very exciting stuff. So awesome. Maverick's here. What's up? Hey, Extron, long time no see. Long time no see to you, good sir. What's up? Yurdy G is saying, what the fuck is up, Carl? Good to see you, my brother. What's up, Yurdy? How's it going, man? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Billy Loomis is here too. What's up, Billy Loomis? Amber is here. Howdy, hey, Amber. Welcome to the stream. It's been a minute since I've seen ya. Yeah, you're a KillJoy cult member too. We appreciate that. Dr. Andy is here. When's the trailer for Scream 6? I'm dying to know everything, including Sydney, Kirby, the Carpenter sisters, and Gail. We're gonna be talking about that in the stream, Dr. Andy. It's gonna be great. How about them peepers, bitch? I love it, Omni. My favorite line in any horror movie all year. Great stuff. When are we gonna get drunk and hang out? Let's do it, man. Let's get toasted. Man. Be awesome. Welcome, John Smith. And FNAF boy is here. Five Nights at Freddy's boy. The boy is here. I love seeing all you guys here. What's up, everybody? Big blanket hello. I'm gonna be responding to chats and all that. Just want to say hello to everybody. I just love hanging out with all you guys so much. So we're gonna take it down to the chill music, the chill Jake music. There we go. Now let's talk a little bit about Scream 6 because it's probably one of the biggest releases on the horizon. One of the things I'm the most excited for going into 2023, baby. Oh, if you thought 2022 was gonna be a good year for horror, because my God, it was. 2023 is also shaping up to be pretty damn sturdy, let me tell you. I think it's gonna be pretty sick, so I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for Scream 6. I genuinely feel like the big thing about it is that it's going to be Radio Silence's Scream movie, more or less. That, like, Scream 5, I loved it. I really enjoyed it, but it is a very clear love letter to Wes Craven. That's why I love it. But I feel like that also kind of puts the creativeness into a box, because you got to do things a certain way to respect Wes Craven. You kind of got to, like, go down a certain path. You couldn't take it too crazy, because Radio Silence had to make that very clear. It's like, hey, we're respecting Wes Craven, and we absolutely love everything he made. Without him, there would be no Radio Silence, probably. So now we're going to see what Radio Silence does, just like spinning it their own way, taking it down some other direction that we probably won't see coming, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm excited to see what that could be. Gary is here saying, I think 2023 and 24 could be good years for horror. Scream 6, Welcome to Derry. I'm pretty sure it's 2024. Yes, I agree with you, Gary. I don't think we have a release date yet, but we'll probably see it in 2024, is my guess. Crystal Lake, Stranger Things 5, new Conjuring, new Saw, and some original stuff too. Yes! Oh, we got a lot of good stuff on the horizon, Gary. I'm excited for it all. And here we are in November talking about horror movies too, which I think is really funny. You know, obviously it's the least spookiest month, which makes me very sad. You're starting to hear Christmas music all over the place, but it's always Halloween here on the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. So there you go. So if you're looking for some Halloween action, bam, there you go. It's always Halloween here, even if you can hear Christmas jingles from afar. You always hear spooky, scary skeletons emanating from this channel, I promise. Although I'll tell you what, I do kind of want to cover some John Wick 4. That's my one thing that I want to cover on this page. That's not really horror. A lot of people viciously die in the John Wick movies, though. So come on. I mean, I feel like I could cover that. I feel like I could do that. But staying on track here, Dr. Andy is saying, without Sydney, there is no Scream. Oh, I guess you're not gonna like Scream 6 then. I really don't think she's gonna be in it, which makes me very sad. But I'm really excited to see what they do without her, though. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like the most important things about the franchise is like meta humor, murder mystery, ghost face. As long as you have those things, you can make a Scream movie. I'm gonna miss Neve Campbell wholeheartedly. she's one of my favorite Final Girls, if not my all-time favorite. It's gonna suck to see her not be in it. And with everything that happened with her, it fucking sucks. Like, that fucking blows. This is like very much so a worst case scenario for the franchise, but I am excited to see what they do without her. I'm fascinated by it. It has me interested. It's like looking into the abyss, or looking at something so outlandish. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'm curious to see what they're forced to do with it, I guess is my point. What they have to do to keep it going. I'm excited to see that. Have I played the new Resident Evil Village DLC? I haven't even had the time to play Resident Evil Village. It's my favorite video game franchise of all time. Haven't had time to play that one, which makes me very sad. I love 7. 7 is so much fun. Would love to play through that one at some point, though, in the future. And I've also heard nothing but good things about the DLC, so I'm really excited to see. I'm really just excited to play through it all. I really don't have too much knowledge. I've watched like 20 minutes of a walkthrough, but like, I mean, that's really it. So I'm excited to play that one when I actually have some time, which, man, next month. Oh, God, I can't wait for next month. I cannot wait. We are almost done with the Red Right Hand edit, a Scream fan film we're making. If you're new here, I saw some new people in the chat, so thought I'd say this. Yeah, so we're almost done with our Scream fan film that comes out in December. Very excited for you guys to see that. We should be done with the edit before the end of this month, which I cannot wait for. I'm so excited to actually have time again. If you're wondering as to why... If you're wondering as to why I haven't been so on top of the updates lately, why I kind of just grouped everything big from this past week all into one big video today, that's because I'm editing I'm editing a gigantic movie with all of my spare time. So bear with me this month. December will be a lot more on track. So that's what I will say. Hannah BBH is here. What's up, Hannah? Saying the day of Scream 6 trailer release is coming. I can just feel it. I know, we're so close. Dr. Andy was talking about this earlier, I think. Someone was talking about this earlier. Dr. Andy, if it was you, all the power to you. But yes, the Scream 6 trailer should probably be coming in December, would be my guess. Now that the release date has been pushed even further back, well, I guess earlier, I should say. Further back would be into April, I guess. Earlier now into March 10th, baby. That's when we're getting this puppy. Probably gonna see a trailer in late December, would be my guess. Like 20th and beyond, I'd say that little window of time is when we're getting it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see it, see the first footage, start to really like piece things together, be like, oh, maybe this character could be the killer. Because I feel like right now we're kind of just guessing. You know, we're just guessing based off of set pictures and all that. Like the craziest theories that I have are based off of like pictures like this, where it's like Samara in a dress that somewhat looks similar to Gale Weathers' dress from Scream 1. That really doesn't tell me that much, you know? So like, I'm excited to start like really speculating on shit. It's gonna get real crazy here in January, late December. It's gonna be exciting stuff. And Carrie, what a sweetheart Carrie is, throwing out the link for the teaser to Red Right Hand. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to check out the teaser and check out our movie on December 20th. We're working very hard on it. I have not slept all week. I am running on so much caffeine right now. That is the only reason I am alive. Fun fact. Jason is here. What's up, Jason? How's it going? Saying, you are right, Jake. Pearl is an amazing movie. Fuck yeah, it was. Oh my God. I mean, listen, I loved... Terrifier 2 was amazing, but my favorite performance of the entire year, Mia Goth and Pearl, baby. Fuck. That was so good. If you haven't seen Pearl yet, I won't spoil it for you, but there's a monologue in that movie that fucking made me shit my pants. It's so well done. I haven't seen something that impressive in a very long time. Pearl is fucking fantastic. Loved that movie. I can't wait to watch it again as soon as possible. It's out, right? I believe that's out on Blu-ray and like digital and all that now, if I'm remembering correctly. I really hope so. I really want to watch that one again. I kind of want to do a back-to-back watching Pearl and then X, like watching them that way instead of the other way around, and just kind of see how they like connect a little more. I caught a few things in Pearl. I've only seen Pearl once, which is unfortunate. I really wanted to see it in the theaters again, but I just couldn't find the time. I really want to see if there's anything else that connects from Pearl to X, because like I got the bit about like the girl being blonde. She doesn't like blondes. She talks about that in X. I'm wondering if there's anything else. I definitely need to do another watch of it for sure. We got Lisa saying, I don't know if I'm going to see The Menu. Looks not that scary. How do you feel about it? it's definitely going to be a horror comedy. Like, I definitely got those vibes from the trailer. I don't think it's going to be that scary, but it's giving me like The Hunt vibes from 2020. It makes me think it's going to be like an even goofier version of that. Is kind of my guess. I'm not 100%, but I'm excited to check it out though. Listen, any horror, anything with Anya Taylor-Joy in it, I'm there. Opening night. I'm very excited to see what she does. So, Lighting Ghost is here too. What's up, Lighting Ghost? Mia needs an award. Fuck yes. Heard some Oscar rumblings about maybe Mia Goth getting some kind of nomination. So there you go. That would be fucking crazy. Holy shit. that would be nuts. I would lose my mind if she got nominated. Just a nomination would be so huge for horror this year, which I genuinely think 2022 is one of my favorite years for horror now. Wow. I mean, and if the menu, could you imagine if the menu's good too? Like, oh my God, what? Like, everything's good. That's crazy. Omni is saying, found you. I know you shared one of your posts. That's what I remembered. I appreciate you sharing a lot of the Red Right Hand stuff, Omni. I really appreciate that. Been seeing you do that all over the place. We appreciate that a whole lot. All the love to you. Oh, Blu-ray is on the 15th. Thank you so much, Trick or Treat. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to buy that one ASAP. Because I don't think that they're going to release like a box set of all three of the movies when they're all out. I don't think they're going to do that, which makes me kind of sad. A24 rarely does releases. Oddly enough, they've only released 2 of their movies themselves, which was Midsummer and Lamb. It's not The Lamb. It's just Lamb. Weird 2 choices. I ended up getting Lamb just because I had a really good theater experience with it, but like, I watched it a second time and I wasn't hot on it. I don't know. Lamb is a very odd, it's a very strange movie. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I don't know. That's kind of, it's experimental and I appreciate that aspect of it though. I will say that. Experimental stuff always catches my interest, but not all of it works for me sometimes. Omni is saying, are you going to go see Black Panther, Jake? I heard early awards praise. So, honestly, this is the only Marvel movie that interests me moving forward. I have been so unbelievably disappointed with a lot of Marvel movies from just the past like 2 years or so. So I'm very interested to see if Black Panther's good. I need it to be. I kind of need it to be if I'm gonna keep watching Marvel movies. I really do think this one's gonna be good. But I'm interested. I'm very interested. I will probably see it at some point if I have some time. I don't think I'll have time this weekend. Your boy's waking up at 7 a.m. to start working on the movie, and I think we're gonna go till midnight tomorrow. So I don't know. But I will, as soon as I can get to it. I do really want to watch that one though. Out of all the new Marvel stuff coming out, this is the one that it has me the most interested. I will say that. So definitely want to check it out. Definitely want to check it out for sure. And Alex BB is here. What's up, Alex? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Alex has the craziest theories that he is constantly sending me, and I love it. I love all the theories, man. Alex is just fucking zoned into the Scream theory mindset, and I just love it. It's great stuff. Alex is saying Dermot could have the mindset of, I'm just doing my job of protecting and serving the community. He's blinded by his grief. He does not see that he's contributing to the very thing he wants to end. Speaking of Marvel, very similar to Thanos, and I would love that. I would love if they did something like that with a Ghostface killer that is like, I'm going Ghostface for the greater good. I have to do this because it's the only way to stop this bullshit. That would be so fucking cool. I would fucking love a Ghostface killer like that. That would be a lot of fun, I think, if they touched on something like that. I really think Dermot could be the killer in this new one too. We were talking a lot about opening kill on the last live stream, who the opening kill is going to be, but the killer predictions, I really got my money on Dermot, and maybe it's because Alex is really pushing that with his theories. But man, the more I read your theories, Alex, I'm like, fuck, it is Dermot Mulroney. Holy shit. Hold the fuck up! You have a Rasta ghost face. I just saw that in the back. It's a Pride ghost face. I got it up there because every month is Pride Month here on the KillJoy Jake channel. So thought I'd throw it up there. It's fun. I can't say why, but we may use it in the movie. And I was like, that's a cool prop. I'm gonna keep that. So it's now, it lives on the set now, and it is barely holding on to that shelf. If I were just to poke it, it would fall off. Unfortunately, I got everything balanced just right so that thing stays on there, which I think is really funny. But yes, no, it's all good. It is all good. I'm hearing a lot of you talking about Soft and Quiet, by the way. Would love to know what. Oh, it's a new Blumhouse movie. Ooh, okay. Oh, geez. That's great. That's a wild concept. Billy Loomis, I can't put that on the screen because YouTube wouldn't like that, unfortunately. But interesting concept. I got to check out if there's a trailer or something for that. I'd have to look into that. Haven't been able to keep up on everything. Haven't been able to keep up on everything. Jake's been busy, but soon that won't be the case. Soon, let me tell you. What is something Scream does that you don't like? Oh, that's really tough because like even the corniness of Scream works for me a lot of the times. Like that's a big thing I do love about it actually. Something that doesn't work with specifically Scream 3 is they kind of go off the deep end with the corniness. And that's where it starts to bug me. When your movie's so corny to the point where you have like plot points that just wouldn't make sense in like for something that's so set in realism like the Scream franchise, that's what doesn't work for me. That's where it doesn't work. I'm down for some corny lines of dialogue. Like I fucking love the dialogue and how it's written, especially in Screams 1 and 2. Like Tatum, for instance, like cut Casper. That's a rap or whatever the fuck. I love quoting that. That's just Tatum's little lines, especially in that scene. So funny. I love it. That totally works for me. It's when plot points get corny that they don't, I think. And it would work for me in something that's like a schlocky B movie or something. It doesn't work for me in Scream 3 because this is a series so set in reality with its meta humor. You have characters that you're like watching the whole time that are like, oh, I'm totally this guy. You know what I mean? Because it's so set in reality and like you can totally relate to those characters because they're also horror fans that love certain aspects of movies or maybe are too into horror movies to the point where they're the killer, perhaps. Oh God. That's probably the only thing about it that doesn't work for me. I really do love a lot of the movies and some of the weirder things that they've done at times. Scream doesn't get too off the beaten path. Like there's really only a few instances of that, I would say. But when it does, most of the time it works for me. That's really the only time it doesn't is in Scream 3. But I still really enjoy Scream 3, man. It's still it's a very fuckable movie. That's my review. It's a fuckable movie. Scream 3 is very put that on my tombstone. Scream 3 is a fuckable movie. There you go. What the hell am I saying? Eric is here. What's up, Eric Cartman? Holy crap. Oh my god, guys. No, seriously, guys. Respect my authority. What would you like to see from Welcome to Derry? What would I like to see? The big thing that has not been announced yet, which is unbelievably shocking in my opinion, is Bill Skarsgård. Like I kind of need some Bill. Need me some Bill in this series. I don't think that's gonna work without him. So really don't think it's gonna work without him. So oh my god, I love all these quotes. That's the big thing I want to see. That's the big thing I want to see. I also want to see just like some really fucking cool kills per episode. Maybe a little bit of backstory too. That's obviously gonna be a huge focus. I'm just excited. I'm really pumped to see it. And, you know, Andy and Barbara are behind this new series. It's gonna be good, I think. I'm very excited for it. But announce Bill, man. Announce Bill. Holy shit. Get him in that shit. Even though he's a big movie star now, he's in like fucking everything. He's about to be in like The Crow, John Wick 4, fucking. He was just in Barbarian. Bill's in like everything now. I'd kind of be shocked that. I guess I won't be shocked if he's not in it, but I really do want to see him in it. That's one of the big draws to it 2017 and 2019. So Carrie is saying, I am quoting you. Good. Well said, Jake. Thank you. There's the quote right there. I love it. Very fuckable, I will say. For people just heading in, I bet they're like, what are y'all talking about? That was a surprising. No, it wasn't. Carrie, I appreciate that, but no, it wasn't. Maybe I just watched too much South Park when I was young, but I'm sure. What's that? Brock Baker, is that his name? I bet he could do it way better. He could do it way better, I'm sure. Blucka's here. What's up, Blucka? What do you have more hopes for at the moment? Oh, okay, this is actually a great question. Scream 6, Welcome to Derry, Evil Dead Rise, or Crystal Lake? I'm very like with any series with a continuation to a big horror franchise. I'm a little nervous with like Crystal Lake and Welcome to Derry. I'm definitely nervous about especially the way that they're describing Crystal Lake. It seems like it might just have Pamela Voorhees. My thing is, though, Brian Fuller promised us they can use everything. I don't know why he would say that if he's not referring to specifically Jason, which is the big confusion about the show. So if Jason isn't in the show, I'm going to kind of take that as a lie from Brian Fuller. I don't really know how else to spin that. I mean, you know, there was this big announcement on Halloween. We're doing a Friday the 13th prequel show. And immediately, the immediate reaction to that, which was a shock to me, cries and boos from the franchise saying this is going to suck. There's not going to be any Jason in it. People were just like super pissed off immediately. I was shocked by that. I was definitely something in the back of my brain, but I wasn't immediately too like, oh, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, I was really shocked by that. And then almost just a couple of days after that, almost immediately, you have Brian Fuller coming out saying, don't worry, guys, we can use everything. That's how it came off to me. I don't know how else to take that quote. You know what I mean? Like, he even says, like, hey, we're going to go to space. We can go to hell. I'm going to lobby hard to go to space. I mean, I'm paraphrasing there, but that's almost exactly what the guy said. So if they don't use Jason at this point, I'm going to be really confused by what that quote meant, I guess. So I don't really know what else he can mean by that, I guess is my point. So I'm definitely wary when it comes to Welcome to Derry and Crystal Lake. TV shows don't always turn out all that great, which is unfortunate, but the movies I'm much more excited for. Scream 6 and Evil Dead Rise for sure are at the top of my list. Honestly, the three movies I'm probably the most excited for next year are Scream 6, Evil Dead Rise, and Maxine. I couldn't think of Maxine. I was thinking X's in my head. There's 3 X's in the name, hilariously. So those are the 3 movies I'm the most excited for next year. Ari Aster's new movie, I think, comes out next year as well, too. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. If they cut it down from like the 4 fucking hour runtime it had or whatever, I'm really excited to see how it all shapes up. Very curious to see what happens with Disappointments Boulevard. But Scream 6, Evil Dead Rise, Maxine, those are the things I'm probably the most excited for. I think those are probably going to be some of the better horror movies of the year. Especially Scream 6 and Evil Dead Rise, though. No, especially Maxine. No, actually all 3. I can't even say one or the other. I think all 3 of those are going to be good. I really do. Especially if Maxine is through the roof outrageous, even more than its predecessors, which I'm really expecting from it. I think that's the only route they can go with Maxine, is to make it even more outrageous, make it kind of like a Hollywood, someone taking LA kind of movie, but then it's also a slasher flick. So I'm excited to see whatever the fuck they do with Maxine, if that comes out next year, 2024, whatever. I'm just excited for it. Let's just put it that way. Future projects I'm excited for. Those 3. There you go. That's the top of my list. Although I am excited for Crystal Lake, though, and I still think it's going to be good. If they don't use, I am worried that they're not going to use Jason, but it would be a shock to me if they don't. So, very excited. Very exciting stuff. Great question, Blucka. Great question. Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends? John, I'm probably the only person who likes Halloween Kills, but doesn't like Halloween Ends. Most people love all 3 of them, or just like Halloween 2018 and don't like the sequels. But I still love Kills. I don't know. There's a lot of things set up in that movie that go nowhere, sure, but Halloween Kills is still enjoyable, man. I didn't finish it, but I got through about halfway of it the other night and passed out. I always like to put on a horror movie before I sleep, but I still really enjoy Kills. Kills works for me, man. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. I don't know. I fucks with it, as they say. As the kids are saying these days. Spelling is hard. Spelling is hard. Words are hard too. Talking is very difficult. but it's fun. Coop the Oof is in the chat. What's up, Coop? How's it going? Is it bad? I'm actually kind of hyped for the new Grinch horror film. Not at all. I'm pumped for that as well, man. That seems like it's going to be sick. Really only because of the actor of the Grinch, because it's the same person who played Art the Clown. Yeah. David Howard Thornton, baby. Playing the Grinch. I'm very, very pumped to see that. Just to see him in another role that's also horror. I'm very fascinated to see what they do with that. I'm very excited for that one. Looks like it's going to be fun. If you guys don't know, also, I totally went right over my head. I was going to put it in the last Terrifier 2 video I did, but David Howard Thornton, along with an elite fucking awesome cast of horror, big horror names, essentially, they're all going to be in this crazy slasher flick called Stream, coming from Fuzz on the Lens. This is one of the production companies from that also worked on Terrifier 2. You remember how when I was just talking about how words are hard? Yeah, that's starting to hit me a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited for Stream. Apparently it comes out next year. Another movie that was crowdfunded. I'm very interested in it. Directed by Michael Levy, who, once again, one of the producers on Terrifier 2. And he also gets killed in the first Terrifier. Fun fact. So there you go. I'm excited. Very exciting stuff. Lighting Ghost is talking about Final Destination 6, saying, is it going to HBO Max? I heard this, but I wasn't sure if it was confirmed. I haven't even done like, I think I did like one update on Final Destination 6 like a year ago, and I just haven't talked about it since. I really do got to do something on that. I also got to do something on 28 Months Later, which is, I guess there's some rumblings about that possibly happening now, which I think would be great. I just don't get sick of zombie movies. I think a lot of people are really burnt out on zombies. I don't know, man. They just always do it for me. Even the bad ones, I still enjoy. So I'd be totally down for some more Alex Garland zombies. Be very interested to see if he does something with that. But yeah, getting back on track with the Scream 6 talk, with the Scream 6 isms. Will it be the best movie of 2023? John, I think it absolutely has the potential to be. I think it has, honestly, Scream 6 has the potential to be the best sequel in the franchise just by simply doing something different from straying from the formula a little bit and executing it well. Because you can stray from formula and it can totally fucking destroy a film. I've seen some movies do that. It works for some people, may not work for other people, but there are plenty of routes that they can take to make Scream something different, Scream 6 specifically something different, without it feeling just like, okay, this is just more of the same. They really can do that with this franchise. There's so many different tools in this tool belt for them to fuck around with. It's not just your straight up slasher movie. You got meta commentary making fun of yourself. You got fucking crazy awesome characters that I think need to be developed a little more. You can spend a lot of the runtime doing that in this movie too. I'm also hoping it's a little longer. Speaking of which, something else we were just talking about is I really want to see Scream. I want to see a longer movie, which I think is a really unpopular opinion right now. There's been a lot of long movies coming out recently, like The Batman. I remember a lot of people were like, that was just way too long. I loved it personally. I loved Batman 2022. That was this year, right? Holy shit. God, this year feels unreal. Like, I feel like it just flew by. Feel like it's still 2021 for whatever reason, but I'm really excited to see what they do with Scream 6. I hope it's a little longer. I hope they have enough time to do everything they want to do, which I feel like maybe if they had like 15 more minutes, 10, 15 minutes in Scream 5, everything would have smoothed out a little bit. But some things felt a little rushed, and I felt like they could have spent some more time with certain characters, especially like Kyle Gallner's character. The Dewey's death reaction could have been drawn out a little more, I think. There's a few in like Wes. I barely knew who Wes was. I knew like one thing. I knew two things about Wes, and that was about it. He was just like very like, oh God, we gotta be careful. He's kind of like the straight man essentially in their group, but I just feel like he didn't have too much time to interact with everybody. Could he use some more from him? What else we got? Scream has always been amazing with character development. Storylines have always been pretty solid. Soundtracks have always been listenable. Hope that's a word. No, I totally agree. We shit on Scream 2022 a little bit for having some. It's not all bad, but some of the characters are just a little underdeveloped. Just a few of them. Like I just named a few. I feel like just a few are underdeveloped, but the majority of them and the ones that are alive still, for sure, I feel like were developed very well. Like I really liked the Meeks twins, and I really liked the Carpenter sisters. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do this time around. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome shit, Carrie. I'm excited for that, and I totally agree with the soundtracks. Speaking of Scream 3, holy shit, does that soundtrack fuck? Oh. That's my favorite word today, for whatever reason. I just keep saying that about everything good. It fucks. There you go. Scream 3 is not only a fuckable movie, but its soundtrack fucks. There you go. That's got to be the most... that you never heard that review of Scream 3, I don't think. It's a horny stream today for some reason. I don't know why. Amber's putting a bunch of crazy emojis in the chat, and I love that. Love me some crazy emojis. Some good shit. Jake is full of fucks today. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Oh, Amber or Jill. These are very, very similar killers. Yeah. Very similar characters as well. This is actually kind of tough. I really think that's tough. Jill, I feel like, is a little more developed and maybe even more sinister than Amber, even though I fucking love Mikey Madison in that new movie. She's incredible. Oh, that's really tough. I think I gotta go with Jill just because she has a little more. She's kind of the center of attention in the fourth film. She does so much. Like she does so much crazy shit in that. Like when like the self-mutilation too is just so fucked up. It's kind of hard to watch even in Scream 4 when she's ripping out her own hair and she like runs into the fucking frame. I wonder if I still have that clip, because it is like, it's like kind of hard to watch for me. I love it. I think it's really well done. I think I deleted that. I needed to clear up some space here on the old StreamYard, but I do got this, Jill.
What's your favorite scary movie, Olivia?
I love it. Love it. I do got to go with Jill, but Amber's fucking incredible too. It's a close one. It's a close one. Very, very close knit. You and Fate are the only ones that like Amber Freeman over Richie. Craven and Knight almost everyone in the live stream chats always say Richie is better, but I think Amber is better. I like Richie too. Not to say I don't like Richie. I think the big factor, I actually like Richie as characters. Richard. Yes, Richard. Yes, I do like that Richard character a lot. I like Richie as a character. I also fucking love Jack Quaid, who portrays him. I think it's incredible. He's very silly, Coop to you. If he's a very silly character, and I like that about Richie. But Amber is I don't know, just Amber's performance is so much scarier to me. I love some of the crazy shit that she says. I don't know, something about Mikey Madison's performances, there's little nuances there. It's very reminiscent of like Matthew Lillard's performance from the original, some of the crazy shit she does, and I fucking dig it. I really do. I really like her performance, where Richie is kind of doing a little more laid back, but still, like, he's like a goofier version of Billy Loomis. It works, but Billy Loomis is always going to be better. You know what I mean? That's my thing about it. Amber is kind of her own thing, although, like I said, those little nuances do remind me of Stu, but she is a different enough character, I guess is my point. Where I would argue that Richie just feels like a silly version of Billy. But I do really like, I really like Amber too, and I think the big thing that gives me the advantage for Amber is her reveal, which is done so much better in every sense of the word than Richie's, because Richie's reveal is just not very well done the way it's set up. Yeah, Blucka, I agree. During the reveal, they both basically became a version of Jim Carrey. I think Richie's reveal is a little goofy for a few reasons. It's like, how did Sam not figure that out? Like when they're in the basement. I feel like that should have been the time to reveal. You should have done Richie's reveal alongside Amber's reveal, and that would have been fine. You wouldn't have gotten that really killer conversation between Sidney Prescott and, Richie, who was Ghostface on the phone. But at the same time, I just feel like someone probably could have figured it out, even in the haze of everything. So it's a little too obvious that Richie was the killer. I mean, immediately after Amber's reveal, I figured it out. It's just like, oh, yeah, it's totally Richie. Okay. But I do like, I like both characters, though. I don't think either of them are bad, but it's just a little obvious. They make it a little obvious that Jack Quaid's the killer too soon before his reveal. It's like right there, too. It's like, you had me up until that basement scene, but then it was like, okay, well, it can't be Tara because, her fucking leg is broken. Don't think it's her. Unless she's like a cyborg or some shit. That would be wild. Cyborg Ghostface. Cyborg, specifically Jenna Ortega Ghostface. Now, that's some crazy fucking shit right there. Psychopaths are very good at masking anything they want. Yes. It's one of my favorite things about the Scream franchise. The character who was so sweet and nice at one point becomes the killer. It's like, oh, they've been wearing a mask this whole time. It's scary. I love it. Not just the ghost face mask, but a metaphorical mask. I dig it. I dig it a whole lot. If Jake isn't the killer in Scream 6, I swear to God, I would love that. That would be awesome. I wish I had signed some kind of NDA to not disclose that information to you all, but unfortunately that is just not the case. I wish. My God, what I wouldn't do. What I wouldn't do for that. The only argument was that Tara was the mastermind, but to keep it real, Richie got me. I think my denial was too strong to not see all the signs right in front of me. My thing was the whole sequence with Dewey was the thing where I was like, okay, maybe it's not Richie, but they're going to do I thought they were going to go the Derek route for a bit, where they're going to make it very obviously him, but then not go that route. I for a second, I thought that, but then the basement scene was like, yeah, Jack Quaid would be an awesome killer. That's what was going through my head that first watch. I'm like, yeah, it's probably him. And I loved Amber too. Oh God, she was so good in that movie. Just every little aspect of her character was so interesting to me. The more I watch that, the more I appreciate Mikey Madison's performance, like even more. She's a massive standout in that movie for me. In December, Christmas Bloody Christmas comes out on Shudder. It looks fun. That's the one about the Santa animatronic that comes to life and like kills people, right? Is that not? Am I correct on that? Maybe. I feel like I just read about that, but I don't know. If it is though, I'm very interested in that movie. Looks very goofy and like almost like a Christmas Five Nights at Freddy's slasher or something. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested. Down for that. How many movies do you have on that shelf back there, Jake? Too fucking many. Too many. I got to get rid of some. Because I don't have any more shelf space in this room, so I don't know what to do. I got to get rid of stuff. I don't know. Too many. I'll have to do an update video because for my patrons and channel members, maybe like a year ago now, I did a video talking about some of my collections and some of my like Blu-rays and shit. So I talked about that a while ago. I'll have to do an update video at some point, maybe towards the end of the year, about it. So. And also, I gotta address something. I did not upload a commentary track last month, just simply because I was so busy towards the end of October. It just completely slipped my mind. It's been done. I never uploaded it. So tonight I will actually have an upload of Halloween 1978. I did a commentary track on that. That's going up tomorrow, and then I'll have another movie done at some point later this month. We gotta get the movie done first. That's priorities, and then you guys will get some of your awesome some of the awesome features for being a Patreon or channel member. So that's all going up. Once again, sorry about that. Jake's just when I'm not making a movie, the shit will be out on time. when I'm not in the middle of that shit, things are gonna get a lot better. That's gonna start next month, baby. So like the end of this month, we'll be done with all that. I'm excited. It's good stuff. Well, if you decide to get rid of any of the Ghostface masks, you can send them to me. I need new ones to add to my collection. I have some bloody ones from when we were filming Red Right Hand, but I don't want to give them away. You know, I'm like, oh, these are so cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I should probably give these to people. In that same breath, I'm like, I should give these to people. These are really cool. It would be cool to give these out. I left a few, since we're done filming now, I left the blood on them. I didn't wipe it because I'm just like, that's kind of cool. I like keeping the fake blood. So I still got, we have a whole box of props from the movie that I don't know what to do with. So that's why I'm kind of like, maybe I give some of it away, but I feel like maybe in 5 years I'll regret that or something. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. How would you have revealed Richie if you wrote 5? Like my big thing, Alex, is like I think they tried to give us another crazy reveal with Richie, and I don't think they needed to do that. I think it almost would have been fine to reveal Richie right there at that moment. Like I said, though, you would have cut out a really cool sequence, though, which is why I think that they kept the Richie reveal till later on, because then you had Sidney Prescott coming in there, guns blazing, being a badass, but it's just like, that's awesome. That scene's great, but then it's immediately followed by like the most disappointing reveal in the franchise. So you probably could find a way to rework all that stuff where you could still have Sidney doing her badass shit, shooting through the doors and all that. But it just felt like that was so cool. But then it's followed by this. It's like, oh man, what a shame. That's my big thing. Like, it's not bad. It's just like kind of disappointing because, like, at least for me, because I had it, like, I just had it figured out. Like, it was just like, this is blatantly obvious at this point. You see him on the phone when she's shooting through the door too. It's like, if you hadn't figured it out by the basement scene, it's like, okay, well now it's like, dude, my dude, you're literally on the phone. Who else could it be? Like, if I was Sidney, I would have been like, no, hell no, dog, you ain't getting out of there. I don't know. That's just me. Oh, I'm saving money to buy a costume from Scream Robes. Hell yeah. Get it from Scream Robes. There's a lot of people who make really good stuff out there. I will say Burkbench Designs, I know he's on Instagram, Clive Barzilia. He made the robe for Red Right Hand, and it is fucking awesome. So I will recommend him because he's just like makes some quality content. If you're going to spend a lot of money like that, I do recommend him. I actually don't know too much about Scream Robes, but I will say from my very little experience with buying the stuff, Clive did an excellent job. It's been 2 years since I've had that robe, and it still looks brand new. It's still very glittery and and awesome. So I got a Father Death robe though, so you may want something different, but I'm not 100% sure. I will say that though. And Night Owl is also saying, would you be okay with Kirby being a killer in Scream 6? Her motive is to kill all survivors for all killings, to stop for good, along with Rebecca's father. I'm really on the fence about this. I could see it working. Like, I could totally see Kirby, Hayden Panettiere especially, playing a killer. That would be a lot of fun. But it also seems like maybe they threw her in there last minute just to replace Sydney after Neve Campbell dropped out. And I feel like maybe they had to rework some stuff with Sydney's plotline, which is why you have Kirby in there in the first place. So that's kind of why I don't think she's going to be a killer. But in that same breath, I think it would be cool. There's a route they could go to make that work, I think, especially to make that motive work. I love the idea of wanting to kill all the other survivors so that no more ghost faces happen. It won't happen if there's no survivors. I mean, there's a point to that, and it's a really interesting moral question of if you should do that or not. Obviously, it's wrong to kill people, but it's fascinating. It would be something really interesting to chew on for the entire third act after the villain speech. So I would love that personally. I think that would be a lot of fun if they decide to go that route, especially with the motive. Kirby being the killer, though, I feel like what do you think would be more controversial to the franchise? Kirby being the killer or killing her off in the opening scene? That's something I'm very curious on. But it's fascinating. It's fascinating to me. I do dig it. Oh, Lewis, thank you so much for the $5, man. I appreciate that. Saying, hey, Jake, it's Lewis. Are you able to distinguish all of your various smiles? You seem to have a happy, frustrated, and angry smile. I must. I guess I do. I just like to smile all the time, no matter what the emotion is. Just smile. Fuck it. You got to be creepy like that movie that just came out. You got to do that. You got to put the vibes out there, I guess. But all the love to you, Lewis. Thank you so much for the $5. I greatly appreciate that here. I'm just a smiley guy. I just like to be smiley. Even if someone's pooping in my socks, you still got to just have a smile on your face no matter what. Alex is talking about the bloodstained bathroom pictures we got a little while ago floating around on Reddit. I don't know. Like, I hope that's real. That would be fucking sick. I don't know if that's real or not. It looks strange to me. I will say that. It doesn't necessarily look like it's from a movie set. It just looks like someone threw a bunch of like Spirit Halloween blood into a into a bathtub. But I'm curious to see if they do something with that. That would be kind of fucking cool to see someone getting like fall into a bathtub or something, hit their head, bunch of blood starting to go everywhere already, and then Ghostface is just wailing on them. That could be fun. I'd be very interested in that. I'd be down to see that, Alex. That'd be a lot of fun. Just my big thing overall is I just want to see them do something different and something brutal, man. I've always felt like the franchise could get a little more brutal, just like the movies that they're making fun of. Why not? Why not take it down that route? That would be really cool. So I hope there's brutal kills, something to top Olivia's death like you were talking about, and something that like just feels like, oh, this is so different. This was something that they've needed to do for a long time, but they just haven't. Because maybe they just didn't want to pull the trigger on something so outlandish or changing up the formula. But like we're at Scream number 6, baby. This is the 6th entry. Let's change it up. Let's do something different. I think I'm going to be disappointed at this point. If we have new people involved, they have their foot in the door at this point. They have the Scream franchise. People are loving Scream 5. I know some people don't like it, but I think the big response to it was that people really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed this comeback for the franchise. And I just feel like it would be such a missed opportunity if they didn't go full throttle into this weird ass fucking direction at this point. Because like, I don't know. It's just like you can follow that cookie cutter formula if you want and just make another Scream 2. But man, I say fucking go for it. Go for some outlandish weird thing. And that's going to be really impressive and really fun and different. I want some different fun shit. That's what I'm looking for. And I don't know. I guess if you want more of the same, there's always Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, those are great movies. I love them. But I want something new, I guess, here in 2023, baby. Ty is here saying, love you, Jake. I love you too, Ty. I love your Vault Boy profile picture. Good shit. Is Evil Dead worth watching? Fuck yes. The only other franchise I like more than Scream is the Evil Dead franchise. I think those 4 movies are all 10 out of 10 masterpieces. Every single one of them. Go check them out. And I know some people don't like Army of Darkness, and that's fine. I get it. It's not for everybody, but I fucking love it. Our Army of Darkness is like the most Sam Raimi thing that has ever come out, that has ever graced the universe. Army of Darkness, baby. That is, it's so Sam Raimi. It's the most Raimi thing out there, and I love it. But what I will say about the Evil Dead franchise is don't go into all the sequels expecting the same thing. That's why I personally love the franchise. Every single entry is different from the last. Where the first Evil Dead is like straight up horror. The second one kind of gets into horror comedy territory. Army of Darkness is just straight up a comedy. And then the remake goes back to straight fucking modern horror, which is awesome. But it's done differently from the original. I love all 4 of those movies. They're all great. The show's fantastic. We need more seasons of it. Would love for Bruce Campbell to come back. So yes, Ty, definitely watch all the Evil Dead movies. Great stuff. I've told this story before, but I would love to. I just want to tell it again just because I think it's really funny. When my father gave me the birds and the bees talk when I was just a young little squirt, he immediately showed me Evil Dead for the first time because of the tree scene. And I still think that's a little fucked up, but it's pretty funny and makes a lot of sense as to why I'm doing all of this shit now, I think. But there you go. That's a little trauma from my past that I'll share with you because I think it's funny. King of Sanity spitting some facts here. I mean, like, listen, if they should add Corey Cunningham to change things up. King of Sanity, what I will say is I don't want them to go that far off the deep end. You know, there's a certain line you can cross with franchises where they're not even the thing that they were when they started. And Halloween Ends crosses that line for me personally. I wouldn't want that to happen to the Scream franchise. There's certain DNA that you just can't lose when it comes to a continuation to a franchise. And one of those things is like you can't get rid of your main killer. You can't do that with Halloween. With Scream, I feel like there's a few things you can't lose. You can't lose the murder mystery aspect. You gotta have a mystery in a Scream film. That's one of the big draws to it. It's like I love looking around for killers and shit the whole movie. That's one of the big draws of the franchise to me. Not every slasher franchise does that. I think that's really cool. The other thing is like, I feel like you can't get rid of the meta commentary. That made Scream. I guarantee you we wouldn't be talking about it right now if it wasn't for that. I love the main characters, but the big thing that makes Scream is those two things. That's Scream's identity. It wouldn't have been this massive, crazy success if you didn't have that horror commentary aspect to it. It would be another slasher, essentially. And who knows what modern horror would look like without Scream. I mean, it's crazy. I will say, though, that the way the characters are written, that's kind of an extension of the meta commentary, though. The characters are written to be very relatable characters that you can see yourself in because it's like, hey, these are also people that like horror movies, and now they're in a horror movie, too. But even all that knowledge can't save them from Ghostface, and that's what makes Ghostface so scary and so interesting as a villain. So I wouldn't... That's the thing that they can't lose. They can take it in different directions by playing with the format, I would argue. Like, for example, like having a fucking twist ending where, like, oh, it doesn't get resolved. One of the Ghostfaces gets away, cliffhanger, moving into 7. I think that, like, that would be cool. You could kill a Ghostface halfway through. You could have 3 killers. Change it up. Give me some kind of focused difference that would make Scream 6 stand out from the others. What's up, Haley? How's it going? Hey. Hey with 4 Y's. What's up, Kaylee? I almost said Kaylee. What's up, Haley? Hey. There's a little H at the beginning of there. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Blucka is here saying, do you have any expectations for the new Pet Sematary project? I mean, like, I was pretty... The Pet Sematary remake was pretty mid. It was pretty mid for me. I wasn't big on it. I thought it was fine. It was all right. I don't know. My big thing about the new Pet Sematary is, like, they did do a crazy change, just like how I was talking about with the Scream franchise, but then they, like, that's how they marketed the movie. They just revealed the big twist about the big reason you should watch the remake, the big difference that they have in the movie, and they completely showed us all of that in the trailer. So I don't know, that kind of ruined it for me, I guess. I feel like otherwise I probably would have really liked the remake. The big thing I do like about the Pet Sematary remake that I feel like they even do better than the original, unfortunately this is really the only thing I think that they do better, is I feel like they fixed the whole side plot line with the wife's sister or whatever, who like has what was it? It was like the wife, it's been a long time since I've seen Pet Sematary. She was like terrified of, is it the wife or is it? Yeah, it's the wife. Terrified of her sister because I think she had like scoliosis or something worse than that, if I'm remembering correctly. They kind of fixed that because they weaponized it in the remake. And it works for me where it doesn't really work for me in the book and the first movie, because it just feels really out of place. It feels like a cool idea that Stephen King had and just shoehorned it into that story. It's really the only thing that doesn't work for me about Pet Sematary. I love everything else about that original movie. I fucking love. But I don't know. I think that's my thing that I'm not big on. When it comes to Pet Sematary is that whole little plot line. They kind of make it work in the remake. I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's this genius writing or anything like that, but I like that it serves for some scares in the remake. That's pretty cool. I dig that. I'm like, okay, you made this weird thing kind of work. I appreciate that. But I don't know, the remake, you have Lord Farquaad as the old man. His name is slipping me, but I don't know, man. I no one's gonna beat Herman Munster as Dead is better. You know, I remember in the trailer when he's like, Dead is better. I was just like, nope, not doing it for me. Sorry. Yeah, Dead is better, not better. Come on. That's my one thing. X trying to say, and the characters in Scream are self-aware of the rules, but they always die because the truth is horror movie knowledge can't save you. Yes, exactly. The characters in Scream are basically us who criticize dumb decisions. Exactly, and that's what's great about Scream. I feel like you can't change that. You can't. There's just a few tiny things you can't change about Scream, but a few things, yeah, go ahead, go nuts with. John Lithgow, yes. John Lithgow plays the old man whose name is slipping me. It's been a very long time since I've seen either of those movies. I don't know, man. Yeah, and Fred Gwynne is he's the best. No one's gonna beat him in that role, I don't think. That's like one of my all-time favorite horror movie performances. I don't know, man. It's all. I like the remake. It does some cool things, but you're not going to get better than that original movie. So I'm excited to see what they do, because like, if I'm remembering correctly, wasn't that Pet Sematary project like supposed to be some kind of spin-off from the remake? I'm excited to see what they do with it, especially because it has a much more defined ending where the original is much more ambiguous with its ending. I feel like it all leads down the same path, but I'm curious to see what they do with that for sure. What is your opinion on Randy's death? I hate it, but it shows no one is safe. I pretty much agree. I like that it shows that no one is safe in Scream 2, but then Scream 2 ends up being like one of the least vicious movies moving forward from that point on. So I don't know. I feel like if after Randy's death happened and then you got like another character killed who was like really fucking important or something, I could see that being purposeful, but Randy's death just comes off as shock value to me. And I wish it was a little more motivated, especially because of how strong of a character Randy is. I fucking love him. And like, the other thing about Randy's death that I don't love is like they've had to replace him in like every movie with another character who's really geeky and with horror movies and all that. And it's like, maybe you wouldn't have had to have done that if you didn't kill Randy. So it kind of, I will say though, the characters we've gotten spawned from that are really good characters. Like, I fucking love Kirby and I fucking love Mindy. Great characters. And I'm excited to see them both in the same movie now in 6. That's awesome. But I will say, Randy is very much so missed in 3 for sure. Like, Randy should have been in 3. Could you imagine Randy in Hollywood, man? That would be so fucking interesting, man. Oh my God, I'd be so down for that. And holy crap, everybody, Sarah Campbell has just become a KillJoy cult member. Welcome to the cult family. Well, welcome to the family is what I mean. Go ahead, sip on the Kool-Aid. I got a fancy little cup for you and everything. So welcome, Sarah. Welcome. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I know it's not the spookiest month anymore. It's the least spookiest month, but I just appreciate your guys' support in this time when horror movie talk and all that isn't as popular as everything else going on. So just means a whole lot. Thank you. And Legion, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Saying, I feel like Corey could have been something good if handled better since the shape can well change shape. You know, I've been thinking about it a lot recently. I kind of want to watch Halloween Ends again now with this in mind. I feel like Corey would have been a cool character to have, like, if it was Corey, not, we've talked about some things in the past about how a big fix for Halloween Ends that probably would have made the movie work for me is if you would have kept Cameron alive and then he would have ran through Corey's arc. Movie would have totally worked for me in that case. It made it about Cameron. I feel like that could have worked. But the biggest turnoff for me about Corey is that he's just so much so the same character from Christine. He has the same goddamn last name. I mean, I think they casted Rowan Campbell because he looks like the guy that played Arnie Cunningham. I don't know, man. That's why it doesn't work for me. If it was like if they had taken Halloween Ends down this original route where it's this brand new killer who Michael Myers transfers his evil into, that could have worked for me, but that's not what Halloween Ends is. Halloween Ends is just Christine where Michael Myers is the car, and that's why it doesn't work for me. I would be down for a transference of evil kind of movie like that because, you know, Halloween is this Halloween is just a choose your own adventure movie essentially at this point where you can go down different timelines, and it's fun for that reason. I love it. But what doesn't work for me about Corey is that he's basically just Arnie Cunningham, and I really do think Rowan Campbell's a good actor. I feel like he did his best with the character, but it's too Christine. That's my thing. It's too much Christine. It's plagiarism at a certain point. Where do we define that, I guess, is my point. Where do we draw that line for when something is just paying homage or when it's just straight up ripping something off? I feel like this crosses that line for me personally. That's why it doesn't work. But if they would have done something like that, where it's like brand new character, has maybe some questions about evil and all that, and then like, bam, it becomes the shape, but it's not the same path as Arnie Cunningham from Christine, I'd be into it, but it just doesn't work for me personally. Especially if they had set that up from the beginning too, that they were going to do something like that, I'd be like, okay, hey, that's cool, but I don't know. Just doesn't work with me. But thank you so much, Legion, for the $5. I appreciate that. I think that's the same profile picture you had from before, but I'm just noticing that's fire in the background, and I just really like that. I have no idea what that's from, but I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I agree with you, though. I agree. Juliana Smiler is here. What's up? How's it going? Saying happy Friday, Jake. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much. You too, guys. I hope the whole Smiler clan's doing well. Thank you again for letting us film that crazy scene in your backyard. We can't talk about that yet because it's a spoiler, but very excited for you guys to see that scene, especially in Red Right Hand. Means a whole lot. But thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by, Juliana. I appreciate it. Michael Myers is the car. Yeah. What are my expectations for the upcoming Salem's Lot remake? Well, they keep just delaying this puppy. I don't know. Like what's up with all that? Makes me a little nervous. I have always felt like Salem's Lot could be remade and done better. It's a little long, the original. I think it's got a lot of really high points that I love about it, but it's a little long. I feel like they could cut it down a bit and make it a shorter story. But I'm interested. I'll check it out. But all these delays and questions and weird shit about it makes me a little worried. I will say that. I should do a big video talking about that. I miss when I used to do videos where I was like, everything we know about the new thing. And I did that with the Crystal Lake series recently. I want to do that for more of the movies coming out next year. So maybe I'll get on that at some point. I kind of want to do, so here's something. Speaking of Scream 6, to get back on track, something a big thing I wanted to do with Scream 6, like moving forward, was at the start of every month, which I think I'm going to do this in January. It might be my first video of the year. I was going to do like an everything we know about Scream 6 at this point. So it was like, here's literally everything, just a big generalization of all the updates we've gotten all in one video. So it'd be like a 12-minute video all about all the past updates from Scream 6. Basically, like everything we know at that point. So I could do that at like the beginning of January, beginning of February. But I've been thinking about doing that. I think that might be interesting. And then I might do that about like some of the other crazier horror movies. Like we got a lot of crazy horror movies coming out in December. This Grinch movie. Someone was talking about the animatronic Santa, that movie that's coming out at some point. And what is it, Violent Night or whatever? I'm very interested in that too. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up. I would love to do big videos on all of them, just because those are honestly my favorite videos to make. I love making those. I used to love doing that, and I used to love doing the locations videos, but man, I spent so much money on those, and they just did not get enough views. I really thought those would do better than how they did, unfortunately. But I'm glad the Scream 5 one, though, got like 10,000 views. I was very happy about that. So thank you all for watching that if you've seen it. Trying to make the Scream 6 locations video happen, but no promises. Maybe. It's a big maybe right now. So I'm trying though. Trying to get up to Montreal at some point next year, but impossible to plan. Would love to do that though. Randy was also right about decapitating the killer in the trilogy. Look at Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. He got obliterated. He got a little more than decapitated, my friend. He got and like, listen. Can we just spoil Halloween Ends at this point? It's on Poopcock. Go watch it on Poopcock, Peacock, whatever it's called. I stole that joke from my friend Connor. So Connor, if you're watching this, Poopcock is your thing, but I just think that's so funny to call it that. Poopcock. Love it. Legion with another $5. Legion, thank you so much for your support, man. I really appreciate it. Saying, plot twist, Ghostface gets toxic sludge tossed on him near, that's so funny. Tossed on him near the end, like in Jason Takes Manhattan. Well, as we all know, the sewers in New York do fill up with toxic sludge every single night. So this is very possible, Legion, unless they've changed that since the late 80s, but I doubt they would do that. What's so wrong with all that? That's my... I would love that. That would be awesome. Let's get a super Ghostface who's covered in toxic goo and turns into like Toxie from the Toxic Avenger. That'd be hilarious. That's what they were foreshadowing in Scream 5 when they were talking about toxic fans. See? Okay, there's my dad joke. I got it out of the way. Sorry. Thank you, Legion, for the $5. I appreciate that. And Carrie with the best compliment I've ever received for $3. Thank you so much, Carrie. I appreciate that. Saying, you're cool, awesome, the best. What a fuckable stream. Yes! Ugh! That's my goal as a YouTuber. I just want my streams to be fuckable. That's all I'm asking. Thanks, thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate the support. You're also cool and awesome and the best. Thank you. Thank you. I love Andy Manichak. Me too. She's awesome. I never watched that movie Son that she's in. I've always wanted to watch. I wanted to check that out. I heard it was good. Oh my God, Carrie. I know, right? Carrie's hilarious. I love Carrie. She's great. She's awesome. I understand why Richie and Amber hate elevated horror because that term is so stupid. It is stupid, isn't it? It's like, oh, our movies are better. This movie's farts, they don't smell. Let me tell you that. I hate that term so much. Like, what sucks about that too is like the people that made those movies, like, I don't think they feel that way about their movies. Like, I don't think Ari Aster thinks like Hereditary and Midsommar are better than the other movies that came out at the time. Like, I really don't think they think that about their movies. I feel like that's all fan stuff. Like that kind of came from like group, like from just like fan groups and all that. I don't know. That's a real whack opinion. But I do love those movies, though. It's a shame. I wish we had a different title for those movies. We could group those all into a subcategory of movies that isn't something that sounds really elitist, because I hate that term so much. But I would love to, because like, here's the thing. You can't just grope those into psychological horror because they are different. Like, they have a different vibe to them. They scare you in a different way. I'm not going to say it's better, but it is a way to scare people. And I dig that about those movies, but it feels very different. That's the big thing about it. Like, I would say that, like, even though contextually Midsommar and like The Wicker Man are very similar movies and do very similar things and even have similar plot points, they're so different tonally. They have so many different things going on at them, even if they both kind of end in some kind of ritual, lighting on fire, killing a character, whatever. They are different movies, though. They got a lot of different things going on. And I get the criticisms for Midsommar, that it's very similar to The Wicker Man, but they're very different movies at the same time. Like, they got a lot of different themes and shit going on. The cults are very different in both movies, I would argue. But yeah, I mean, some plot points are exactly the same as one another, so I get the criticisms. I get it, but I do really like Midsommar a lot. I like both of those movies a lot, actually. The Wicker Man's also fucking awesome, but I don't know. I would just argue that they are like their own kind of movies. They got their own subgenre going on, but calling it elevated horror is just gross, man. I fucking hate that term. Your streams are so fuckable. I may have to raw dog. Damn, going in without protection, Omni. Holy shit. What am I even saying? What am I even saying at this point? I don't know. I don't even know. Oh my God. Funny stuff. I love it, Omni. Great. I can't. I'm going to like actually get demonetized if I say what I'm thinking. I'm like, I got to stop. This isn't OnlyFans. I can't just say whatever the fuck I want. I'm like, I got to be careful. Susan didn't like that. Oh my God. Did you see Cody Leach's new 3331 video ranking all the Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th movies? I've seen a lot of people. I've seen Cody. So Cody must have done that now. And I know We Watched a Movie did this. I would like to do this too, because this is so fascinating. To take all of those movies and then rank them all next to each other. Man, that would be really tough for me to do, but I would love to do a big stream or a big video talking about that. It would take I'd have to, here's the thing. To do that, I would have to watch all the movies again. That's the only way I feel like it would be fair, because like doing a lot of those from memory, I feel like wouldn't be fair, because I haven't seen a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels in a long time. Although Freddy's Dead is one that I constantly fall asleep to. I know it's an awful movie. I know I've heard it a million times, but I love it. I think it's so bad it's good. Very goofy, fun movie. Love it. But Freddy's Dead would oddly be very, very high up on that scale, which would probably piss a lot of people off. But I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. But I would love to rank those movies. That would be a lot of fun. I'll have to check out Cody Leach's ranking too, because We Watched a Movie they had a very interesting way of ranking those movies. I agreed with some of it, but you know, everyone's going to have a very different take on that because there's like 30 something of those movies all put together, of course. So, and Legion is throwing another $5 in there. Legion, thank you so much for the support, man. I once again just really appreciate it. It means a lot. This time of year, you horror content creators don't get fed all that much, so it means a lot. It means all the super chats this month, especially, do mean a whole lot. So thank you, Legion. Saying the whole Corey story plot is at least better than the Curse of Thorn Crab. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, I agree with you there. You know, Christine's plot is definitely better than what's going on in the Thorn trilogy. I'll give you that. I think my thing with Corey though is like I went into the theater after watching Christine. Like I watched Christine, a couple hours later I went to go see Halloween Ends, and I'm just like, this is the same movie. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe if I hadn't done that, maybe I would have a different reaction, maybe, but like at the same time it's like it's the same movie. I had this, you know, I probably shouldn't shit on this movie, but there's another movie I just watched that came out this year, made a shit ton of money, and it has the exact same plot as another movie that's very big and famous. And it's like, I don't know how this keeps happening, and I don't know. It must be something that only bothers me when a movie has the exact same plot as another very popular movie, but I don't know. It's odd. Like, I'll just fuck it. I don't care. Top Gun Maverick has the exact same fucking plot as A New Hope, and I just did not care for it at all. Like, it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time, and I am perplexed by that. I don't get it. I don't know. I didn't care for it. It was just, you got to shoot into a tiny hole or you're gonna miss. I mean, that's New Hope, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just the same movie. And I also, something that really bugs me a lot, and a big draw to the pitch meeting videos, which I've been watching a lot of recently, is I hate when a character isn't inconvenienced in movies. Like Tom Cruise's character in Top Gun is like, he has a fucking blast in that movie. Nothing is an issue for that guy. The only thing that's an issue for him in Top Gun is the fucking bill that he has to pay that he can't pay for. Like, that's the only issue he comes across in the entire movie. Everything else is just super easy for him, and that's just like perfect. I don't know, perfect characters are just really boring to me. So I don't know how I went into a rant about Top Gun Maverick from talking about Corey's plotline and Halloween Ends. Couldn't tell you how that happened, but regardless, Legion, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. That's very, very funny. Very funny stuff. I love how no one's Top Gun Maverick. Who cares? I see no one talking about that. Very funny. It's okay. We'll get off the topic. We'll get off the topic. We'll talk horror movies again. Just something that's been on my mind that I can't really rant about. Funny stuff. Mr. Nestle Crunch is saying Halloween Ends reminded me of Friday the 13th Part 5. Yeah, I definitely got those vibes from it too, for sure. I don't know, man. I just wasn't the franchise to do like to do some of the stuff that they did in that movie, I think, personally. But I do think that concept could have worked in this franchise. I feel like there's always been this idea that this evil lives inside this evil lives inside Michael, but the transference of that I just feel like could have been done in a very weird and original way that could have worked for me. But I don't know. The Corey stuff would have worked if it wasn't just Christine, is my big argument about the movie. It could have worked. I think it could have. And it all would have worked with that trilogy too. There was like every conversation you get with Laurie Strode in the first two movies is like all about how Michael has this evil within him and how the townsfolk is starting to believe that. They start to believe that throughout this trilogy. And that's a big factor going into these movies. And I just think that like it all would have worked if you would have just a better central character. And I get he was trying to pay homage to John Carpenter. I get it. I get what he was trying to do. It makes sense. I get it. But man, like you can't just be giving me movies that are just the exact same thing as something else that all the people watching are probably familiar with, I don't know, man. I don't know. I also like Friday Part 5 too. Not to bash Part 5, because like 5 is one of those movies that grew on me. I was like also like, man, this is weird that there's not actually Jason in this movie, but like something I love about 5 is the characters. Like the characters are really interesting to me in that movie. I've really always loved the characters in 5, but the Roy Burns stuff was always a little weird. But I don't know, 5 has grown on me a lot recently. I gotta rewatch those movies though, man. Oh, I haven't watched like all of them in a while, so I would love to go through those at some point. Those are oh my god, all the Friday movies are so much fun though. Have you hydrated yet? You know what? That's a good point, Carrie. Because I had this gigantic vase that I've been drinking out of recently, I decided to get a gigantic water bottle just to make all of you laugh. And this is almost filled to the brim. I plan on drinking the rest of this. There you go. I know I should drink some water. I've been live for like an hour and 13 minutes. Haven't really gotten too much water. Here we go. Let's little hydration break. This is what we all come into the stream to see, right? Bam! Liquid. John, I would die. I would actually die if this was filled with vodka. Oh my god. I would be dead. The stream would be awful. I've gotten fucked up on one stream and I will never do it again. It would literally never happen again. It is so boring. I will just be here like, yeah, horror movies. That's great. Yeah, whatever. It'll get boring real fast if I get fucked up on stream. That's all I'm gonna say. Extron, I think you're stepping into some good ideas right there. I should get a fish tank next with like actual goldfish in it and just start like chugging it. That would be great. I like the way you think. Xavier's here. Hello. Welcome. I haven't said hi to some of you. I know some of y'all are coming in. Flash, I didn't say hi to you either. Hello, Flash. Hello. Hello to you. Hello to the Hatchet Boys as well. Both of them are here. Or maybe there's 3 of you. I don't know. Hello, Hatchet Boys. Saying, yeah, it took me some time to come around to Friday Part 5 and the first Friday the 13th. I like the first Friday. I definitely like most of the sequels more, but the first Friday the 13th is pretty interesting to me, though, regardless. I think it still has some really cool stuff going on. And the more I watch the first one, the more I like the characters, oddly enough. I think that's a big criticism about that movie, but I dig it. I actually do dig the characters in that movie. I used to just like not like them at all, but they've grown on me after watching that movie so many times. So, and 5, I remember the first time I watched it, like back in like 2018, I want to say was the first time I watched that, when I was really getting into horror. My one takeaway from that film was like, I loved the characters. Like out of the first 5 movies, I'm like, those characters might have been some of my favorites, but like the Roy Burns stuff just didn't work for me. But the more I watch it, the more I dig it. So I don't know. I dig it. I like it. I like all the Friday movies, really. Then I mean, all of them are fun. You know, that's the big thing. They're all very fun, silly, crazy slashers. Wonder when they're going to start casting for the It prequel. Wonder which actors are going to go up against Pennywise. It's going to take place in the 60s, which I think is really interesting. So 60s set period piece, which is going to be a lot of fun with Pennywise the clown running around, going after new kids, new characters. You know, a big thing I want to see, Eric, is from the Welcome to Derry series. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like all the adult characters in It and It Chapter 2, not the grown-up version of the Losers Club, obviously, but all of the older people, they all seem very off. Maybe that's just me, but all of the adults have like this weird like Charlie Brown adult character kind of feel, where it's like in Charlie Brown, you never hear the adults like talk. It's always like wah, 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 wah. You know, you always get like sounds. I think the purpose of that is just because, like, you know, kids, they don't understand their parents. The parents do things that it's the mutual misunderstanding of both kinds of peoples from different generations, whatever. I feel like there's something that we don't know about some of the adult characters in It Chapter, specifically the first one, It 2017. They're all just a little weird, a little off. Maybe they know about Pennywise and they're just keeping it a secret. I kind of want to see them play into that a little bit. There's a lot of adult characters in that first one that are just fucking weird and are a little off. So I'm curious to see if they mess around with that or introduce us some young versions of older characters from that movie. Like the guy behind the desk at like the pharmacy, not only is he creepy and kind of hitting on Beverly, which is really fucking gross, but like he's also just, there's something off about him. I mean, like he could be like a serial killer in a spin-off movie and I would totally buy it. That's how weird that guy comes across to me. He's even got like the Dahmer glasses and everything. I don't know. He's just something off about that character for so many reasons. The mom character, like what's his face's mom, I can't remember the character's name, but there's just a lot of adult characters in It Chapter 1 that are so fucking weird to me. Would love to see some backstory about that. Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they know something about like the black spot, for instance, which I'm sure is going to be something they touch on in Welcome to Derry. Really excited to see what they do. It's gonna be cool. It's going to be cool regardless. Legion with another $5 super chat. Oh my God, just absolutely killing it, Legion. Thank you. Saying I'm going to have to send you home now, Cassie. It's Carrie. Legion, I've actually, if you're talking about our Carrie, I had that issue growing up. I've had Casey, Cassie, Carly, Karen even. Carrie is hard to say, I guess. Carrie is like probably the easiest of all of those to say, I would have to say, Legion, which I think is funny. But thank you for the thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a whole lot. But yes, Carrie, we know your name is Carrie, not Corey. Carrie Cunningham. No. God, we got you. And I promise I will never call you a Karen. Only joking. I love all the, Eddie's mom. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was thinking not Bill Skarsgård, Bill Hader. I'm like, Bill Hader. What is that character's name? Yes. Eddie's mom is so creepy to me. There's gotta be, I feel like there's more to that character, you know? I feel like there's more. Why are your eyes red? My eyes are not red, actually. I am look how gigantic my eyes are too. If you think I'm scary looking, that's because I am scary looking. I have these big old bug eyes. My eyes are not red, my friend. My eyes are as white as I'm not gonna say that. You know, I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking about because YouTube doesn't like that. They're not a fan of that. They're as white as my shirt. There you go. My head is in the gutter today. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Hatchet Boy saying, I am intrigued to see how this new Pennywise prequel will come about. I like the 1990 It more than Chapter 1 and 2. I didn't really mind Chapter 1. Second one, I was like, what the fuck happened? I had that I'll be honest with you, I had that reaction to 2 at first too, but I have really come around to the second movie. It is not perfect by any means, let me tell you, but I think it works in regards as one big movie with 1 and 2, and I fuck with it. But a lot of the, like, especially the ending, that's the only thing that really doesn't work for me. The way they actually killed Pennywise is just kind of like they bullied him to death. Okay, like I would have loved his head to get chopped off or something. It's thematic, you know. I get it. I get what they were going for, but I don't know, man. I brought in the sex bots. Yeah, that was my bad. Yeah, I say the stream's fuckable. Now all the porn bots come in. Ah, dang it. I know. I do like 1990s It, but my big thing about 1990s It is like when Tim Curry is on screen, it is fucking awesome. But when he's not, I am very bored. Like I don't know, man. The other characters I'm not as into. I definitely like the characters in the newer movies much better, how they're portrayed. But it's very arguable to say which Pennywise is better though, because Tim Curry Pennywise is like just a sight to behold. It's one of his best roles for sure. Like. It's so good. It's so funny and so outrageous. Oh, I love it. I love it. Amber, it's all good. Don't worry about it. We got it taken care of, and we made a little joke out of it too. Isn't that great? As long as it's entertaining, that's all I care about. Ooh, have a barbarian type ending. I mean, like, yeah, honestly, I would have taken that over what we got in It Chapter 2. I like Pennywise, who has become this, like, cultural phenomenon, this huge horror villain now, arguably the biggest horror villain of the 2010s, and he gets bullied to death at the ending of that movie. I don't know, man. I was like, I remember I saw that movie with my girlfriend at the time for the first time, and we both were just like, that movie was good, but that ending was fucking weird. Like, that, I don't know if that works for me. But I do really, I don't know. I do dig it. I dig it. I dig it now. I like it, you know. But It Chapter 1 to me is like my favorite Pennywise thing so far. And even that's not perfect. Like the CGI in It Chapter 1 is not great. Never been a fan of it. But I don't know. I do like those movies a lot. Bill Skarsgård's performance is incredible. It's super scary. That opening scene to It Chapter 1, I knew I was hooked from that scene on. But I dig it. I like it. Zoe is here. What's up, Zoe? Good friend of the channel. What's up, Zoe Crawford? Saying the Chapter 2 of both versions are disappointing. Yeah. Honestly, I agree. The endings to both of them are a little weird, but in all fairness, the book is pretty fucking convoluted. I mean, like, the ending, to kind of sum up the ending, there's this entire fucking sequence where Richie and Pennywise have like a joke off in the book, and they're like joking each other to death. It's fucking weird. It's a very weird novel, but I do like, there's so much like creativity in that novel though. I do really respect it, but it's not my favorite Stephen King novel. But it's the idea, the concept of it all that I'm a huge fan of it. That's what I really fucking, what I really dig. Haunted Hippie wants to smoke a joint with John Carpenter. I would kill to be in that. I would kill to be in that rotation. That would be a lot of fun. John Carpenter and Haunted Hippie, all of us smoking a J. That would be awesome. I would dig that. That'd be a lot of fun. What's my favorite Stephen King horror book? That's really tough. I really love the Dark Tower series. Like, all of those books are a lot of fun. They're kind of, some of them, they got some weird parts in them. Like Wolves of the Kala is kind of strange to me, how it's set up. I'm trying to think. Song of Susanna is a little short. I feel like that one could have been a little longer. And like the ending is like one of the best twist endings to a story I've ever fucking read. I recommend reading The Dark Tower. It's very, very underrated. A lot of people don't talk about it as much as they should. I think it's one of the most interesting stories Stephen King has ever told. It is so cool, and it is a shame that movie fucking blows. Don't watch the movie. Don't waste your time. It's awful. It is nothing like the books. Read the books. Read the books. Don't watch the movie. That's what I'll say. They massively fucked up the movie. Big old time. It's one of the worst adaptations of book to screen I've ever seen in my entire life. But read the books because they're masterful. They're a lot of fun. Okay, they're a little sloppy, but like it's a really good story. That's what I'll say. There's some things that are a little sloppy. There's a huge, like a glaring plot hole about the Man in Black character in the story. But besides that, I really love those books. It's really good stuff. Legion is throwing $2 in there. Thank you so much, Legion. Really appreciate that. Saying I would not survive in the new Hellraiser. I probably wouldn't survive. Like, here's the thing. I probably would survive a Hellraiser movie so long as, like, I had to be the one who may or may not have opened the box. Because I'll tell you right now, I just wouldn't open the fucking box. Like, screw that shit, man. There is nothing the Cenobites could give me that would be worth opening up that shit to chains and shit ripping my skin off. Sorry, but no way, Jose. Not gonna do that. But I do really, man, I'll tell you what about the new Hellraiser. Fucking love the designs. I don't know if you guys have seen like the sketches of like what the designs were and then how they executed it on screen, but fuck. Oh, some of the best designs I've seen in a horror movie in a long time. Really good stuff in the new Hellraiser. It's not my favorite in the whole series, but I do really enjoy it. I think it's definitely one of the better Hellraiser movies. And for that, I appreciate it. David Bruckner did a pretty good job. The visuals were probably my favorite thing about it, honestly. I loved the visuals. Jamie Clayton as Pinhead was awesome. All the Cenobites actually were fantastic. Definitely the highlight of the movie. But I don't know. I think it's the overall story that I just felt like was a little lackluster. But besides that, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I like The Shining. So we were talking about books. Did you like The Shining book? Because it's very different from the movie. I'm curious if you like it more or less. I've heard a lot of people that say they like the book better, but I don't know. I've always been partial to the movie personally. I think the movie is my favorite version of the story. Even though I do like the book. I do dig that. I get why Stephen King doesn't like it, because like if you've read the book, it spends a lot more time focusing on like Jack Torrance and like his descent and all that. And his big criticism of the movie is that it doesn't really focus on that as much, but I think it just does it differently. That's my thing. It's just different. And there's a lot of, I mean, shit, that's not even the biggest difference from story to screen, but I don't know. I like personally Stanley Kubrick's movies. That's my favorite, but the book is good though. What are your thoughts on David Gordon Green's new Exorcist trilogy? I got some weird, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. David Gordon Green's style is very silly, and I just don't know if that approach is going to work with The Exorcist, like how it did with Halloween. Like, personally, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, they both really work for me. The humor, the way they set up kills, it all works. Halloween has always been inherently silly, which is why I feel like it's a little weird when people are like, man, the Evil Dies Tonight stuff, that's so outrageous and ridiculous. That's just so not Halloween. But then you go back to Halloween 1978 and you got Dr. Loomis running around saying all this ridiculous, mad, crazy shit. And it's like, but that's also pretty goofy, man. I mean, when he's like fucking with the kids and all that, he's just like, hey, Lonnie, stay away. I mean, like, that's like really weird behavior for an adult man to be doing. I don't know. That's always come across as like very goofy and silly to me. And I think all the movies in their own respect kind of have that element to them. Maybe not so much the Rob Zombie movies, which the humor just does not work for me in those movies at all. But I don't know. Most of them have always been really steeped in a little bit of goofiness. David Gordon Green, I think, was a really good choice to be the director for a Halloween continuation. But The Exorcist, I just don't like. Regardless of my feeling, putting aside my feelings about him as a director, I don't think his style will work with The Exorcist. But I'm ready to be proven wrong, is what I will say. I want it to work. I would love a continuation to The Exorcist to be something cool and new, but there have been so many movies just from the past like 50 years or so that have basically done the exact same thing as The Exorcist, and it's gonna be hard to reinvent that franchise. That's gotta be one of the toughest horror franchises to reinvent, do some kind of requel off of, and it's weird that we're getting that and not like a Nightmare on Elm Street from David Gordon Green, which would be a much better choice in my opinion. I mean, you want to talk about a goofy slasher franchise, holy shit, Nightmare on Elm Street is the holy grail of that. I don't know why David Gordon Green why don't they just like give him a back seat to work on that sometime in the future if Blumhouse can acquire the rights for that. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's a really weird choice. I get it. Like, you know, he was successful with Halloween 2018. I get it, but man, give him a different franchise. The Exorcist, I don't think it's going to work personally, but I'm excited to be proven wrong is what I will say. I'm excited to see it. I want to be proven wrong. I really do. I want a good Exorcist movie. That would be cool. I'd be down for that. Legion is throwing $2 more in there. It's just, you're the absolute MVP of the stream. Thank you so much. Saying Obi-Wan was really good in Dr. Sleep. Yes. Oh, I fucking love Dr. Sleep. For the longest time, I was like, I might like Dr. Sleep more than The Shining. I really fucking dig that movie. Mike Flanagan can do no wrong, as we all know. He's incredible. But I think I do like the original Shining more, but Dr. Sleep is really good, man. I don't know. Everything about that movie's awesome, between Ewan McGregor in the lead role, or if it's Rebecca Ferguson as one of the most underrated horror villains from the past 10 years. She's incredible as Rose the Hat in that. Oh, so good. That opening scene, fuck, dude. That fucked me up. Love it. I love Stephen King movies where a child dies at the beginning is my favorite subgenre of horror. I love it. Good stuff. But no, I totally agree. Dr. Sleep kicks major ass. So underrated. I cannot believe it bombed at the box office. Such a shame. Truly a shame. Really good stuff. I agree, Legion. Good stuff. All the love. Thank you again for the $2, man. Really appreciate it. Hats off to you, person. Legion person. Thank you. Would love Danielle Harris and Paul Rudd back, as well as Rachel Carruthers. Definitely Danielle Harris and Paul Rudd. I would love to see them come back for sure. Mr. Flamboyant. I really think that both of them could be in it. It would be really fun to see them in a Halloween movie again at some point. I would love to see that in like 5 years or so. Just a brand new take on Halloween. Maybe like different characters get experience to Michael Myers after he breaks out of prison at some point. I'd be totally fine with a one-shot movie like that. Not everything needs to be a trilogy. You know, that's my big thing. Everything has got to be a trilogy nowadays. I would argue against that, honestly. Really good question from Eric. From Eric Cartman. What's a Stephen King novel you would like Ari Aster to adapt? So there's this novel that I'm shocked it's just never been touched. It's called From a Buke 8, and it's similar to Christine, but it's very different. It's about an evil car, but instead, like, a bunch of monsters and shit come out of the trunk of this, like, crazy looking vehicle. And I would love Ari Aster to do something with that. Honestly, I think a better choice would be like Vanessa and Joseph Winter. They kind of made a big breakout hit with this year with Deadstream, and then they were also attached to VHS 99. I love From a Buke 8. I think it's a great story. I would love to see just someone adapt that. But Ari Aster, I'm trying to think like what story he would do the best in particular. I had to get that thought out. Something I've had on my mind for a while. But what would Ari Aster adapt really well? I'm trying to think. Because Stephen King doesn't really touch on cults all that much. Ari Aster seems to be obsessed with that. But he also really likes focusing on one central character all throughout, like through a story, to see where this character goes or whatever. I'm trying to think like what Stephen King stories would be really good with that. It's a really good question. I'll tell you that. I'd almost love to see him do a Cujo that's a little more like straightforward, serious. That might be interesting. God, I'm really at a loss for that. I'm trying to think what Ari Aster would be even interested in. God, that's a really good question. Eric, you got me stumped. I'm going to be honest. Maybe The Shining, honestly, but like, I don't think that needs a remake. You know, that's the other thing. I think he could do The Shining pretty well. But once again, I don't know if that needs a remake. So tough to say. Really tough to say. Ari Aster, man, I would love to see him do some crazier projects though sometime in the future. I'm very excited for Disappointments Boulevard though, like I've been saying, but would love to see him tackle some weirder shit for sure. Legion is throwing another $5 in there. Holy crap, Legion, just the absolute MVP. Thank you so much again. Saying, I love how Jack Nicholson wasn't in the movie, but you can tell it was him with his character in the movie at the bar scene. If you're talking about The Shining, wasn't in the movie, but you can tell it was him with his character in the movie at the bar scene. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that, but that bar scene is incredible. Just a great performance. I also really love that you get this like you kind of don't really know exactly if it's supernatural or not, or if it's all in his head. I mean, I guess, you know, the ghost does unlock that door for Jack, but was that all in his head? You know, I feel like there's an argument on both sides about the Stanley Kubrick's version. I think that's really cool. I really dig that about I really dig that about that entire movie. Jack Nicholson's performance is his best, I think, for sure. It's so good. It's so well done. Fuck. I mean, The Shining is one of those movies that is always going to be just infamously terrible. So, I mean, did I say terrible? Wow, terrifying. Jake's tired. Jake's been editing all week, so my brain's just like doing like the spin, the pinwheel thing a little too often, unfortunately. I can't wait to sleep. That's going to be great. Legion, thank you for the $5. Fucking love Jack Nicholson for sure. Thank you. Carrie's saying, I've been wanting to watch Deadstream. Is it worth a watch? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you like found footage movies, and if you like when they get a little goofier, maybe like VHS 99, you will absolutely love Deadstream. It's super goofy, practical effects all the way from start to finish. No digital shit, which is awesome. I love a lot of the puppets and some of the gross stuff in that movie. I had a lot of fun with Deadstream. It's probably one of my favorite horror films of the year. It feels very like it feels like if Sam Raimi did a found footage movie, I think is the best way to describe it. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I love the Winters style. I can't wait to see what they do next. I remember I read this entire interview with them where they're talking a little bit about how making a silly found footage movie was something they always wanted to do, but didn't think it would work. But then I think it's Joseph Winter who in that interview said, but then I saw The Visit and noticed, oh shit, that can totally work actually. And that's kind of how Deadstream came into fruition. Obviously, there's a lot of other influences in that movie. Very clearly, Evil Dead 2 is one of their influences from that. But I don't know. I really dug what they did in Deadstream. And even though I loved their segment in VHS 99, it's fucking great. One of my favorite VHS segments. I actually like Deadstream even more. So I recommend it. You know I love Goofy. I enjoyed VHS 99. Heck yeah, good stuff. I enjoyed VHS 99, but I totally get why people are turned off by it. It is easily the goofiest entry in the whole franchise, but like that's why it works for me. It's got its own flavor that the other movies don't have. It gets like into some crazy goofy territory, but that's why I really fuck with it. I don't know. VHS 99 was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Another movie that made my top 10, which I'm sure is going to piss people off. So I cannot wait to put the top 10 list out by the end of the year. People are not going to like that, but I got some weird ass movies on there. Another movie that just climbed to a very high point is Crimes of the Future. I watched that again last night, and I'm like, on second watch, I'm like, this movie is maybe one of my favorite Cronenberg movies. This is so well done from start to finish. And I really needed to watch that movie again to do a second watch on that. It just got put onto Hulu. I gotta buy it. It's, man, one of my favorites from Cronenberg. Really enjoyed that. Tori is talking about Shake Shack. Oh, I love Shake Shack. That is one of my favorite burger places of all time. Now I have a room full of food. Guys, give me some good horror recommendations to watch while I eat all this food. Watch Deadstream, Tori, if you want something a little goofy. I feel like that's a perfect Friday night horror film is Deadstream. Like, get your buddies together and watch this silly ass movie. It's on Shudder right now. Really good time. It's a really good one, I think. So yeah, watch Deadstream on Shudder. I'm trying to think. Dark Glasses from Dario Argento, if you like his style. That movie kicks major ass. I watched that today. Holy shit. I mean, Dario Argento and Cronenberg putting out some of their best movies this year. Hot take. I fucking loved Dark Glasses. Wow. That might creep up into my top 10 too. I know, like, I can't wait to put up my top 10 list for this year and people just to be like, dude, like, I've never even heard of half of these. And I'm like, but they're good movies, man. Good movie. Good movies. Love it. Gonna drink some water because your boy's feeling the dehydration vibes. That's not good. We love us some liquid H2O here, sponsored by H2O and the sequel to water, H2O 2. Don't drink that. Don't legally I have to say don't drink H2O2. Don't do that. I think that's peroxide if I'm remembering correctly. So don't do that. That's not good. Water. Just drink straight up water. I live silly ass movies, so I'll watch Deadstream. Hell yeah, Tori. Good stuff. I think you'll dig it. If you like silly horror that's very, bloody, gory, campy, fun, That is the definition of Deadstream. So you'll like it. Carrie is a ninja, absolutely. She's killing it. She's getting to the bots faster than I can, and I just appreciate that. Mr. Nestle Crunch, did I like the Dahmer series? I did. It was a little, like, it's really well done, is what I'll say. It's really well done. It's really well executed. I think it's a little weird that, like, there are parts that feel like they were set up for people to laugh at, but it's like, this is something that really happened. Like, it almost feels like American Psycho with Jeffrey Dahmer. And I don't know if that necessarily works for me, but it's really well done. That's what I'll say. But I kind of felt weird wanting to laugh at some of that, which was just, it feels a little distasteful to me. That's my one thing about the Dahmer series. Like, I'm not going to deny that it's very well done. You know, I can't argue with that, but it's just a little strange. I feel like if it was fictional, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, is what I'll say. But because it was about Jeffrey Dahmer, was kind of the thing that left a bad taste in my mouth. I get why it's controversial, I guess is my point. Did I like Dashcam? I don't know. I don't think I like Dashcam. I love, there's some really good sequences in Dashcam that are really scary and actually pretty memorable, like towards the end, but that first act is one of the hardest first acts to get through, maybe of all time. It is mostly that main character, and she is so unlikable. I don't know. The way she's written, I couldn't get behind it. Especially because you're supposed to root for her. Like, if she's like the antagonist, okay, I could get behind it, but man, I wasn't big on it. I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish with Dashcam. I guess it feels a little convoluted, but there's some good sequences at the end. Dashcam feels like a way too long version of a VHS skit. I think that's how I heard it put before, and that's the best way I would describe Dashcam. That should have just been like a short. That should have been Rob Savage's short for the new VHS movie, and you could have left it at that. It did not need to be that long. That should have been 15 to 20 minutes, a little short, and that would have been fine. But I don't know. It didn't work for me. I feel like I could have done Annie Hardy for, like, I could do 15 minutes of that character. Okay, but an entire movie it's a little too much. There's like, I like abrasive main characters. I don't know. It's really tough. It's a weird situation because I typically love movies like that where you have an uncomfortable character. I love, like, those are my favorite movies. Creep is so much fucking fun. I could watch that movie a million times. You have a character who's very uncomfortable to watch, and it's just so much fun throughout. It's fun for that reason, but that movie crosses the line. You know, it's not even funny. It's to the point where it's just like, it's annoying. You're watching an annoying character, not a cringe, holy shit, oh, this is uncomfortable to watch character. It like goes beyond that, and that's why it doesn't work, I think. Oh, Zoe, these are my babies. You're telling me to pick between my two children here, essentially. God, Evil Dead 2013 or Terrifier 2. Fuck. That's really tough. I mean, both very masterful movies. Terrifier 2 is also still very fresh on my brain. So my thing about Evil Dead, like, here's something I'll say. Evil Dead 2013, I liked the first time I watched it, but the more I watch it, the more I realize it's a masterpiece. Like I said, I enjoyed it that first watch, but the more I've seen it probably 100 times now, and the more I watch it, the more I'm like, this is a flawless movie. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite horror films of all time. And I feel the same way about Terrifier 2 now, but I've only seen it 3 times. So I need to see Terrifier 2 a couple more times before I say that. I kind of fell asleep watching it on streaming, so I need to watch it again. I need to watch it like fully in it with my brain, if that makes sense. I see a lot of people saying Terrifier 2. Hell yeah. Terrifier 2 is great. And Evil Dead 2013 from Gabriel. Hell yeah. Some good answers. It's so tough for me to pick. Like, I love both of those movies so much. I see both of those movies being movies that I frequent a lot in the future. I don't know. Zoe, you got me stumped again. Some great questions tonight from everybody in the chat. Let me tell you, this is, honest to God, been one of my favorite live streams I've done in a while. You guys are throwing some good, awesome questions, very, very thoughtful questions out there. Great stuff, everybody. I love it. Is art a horror icon now, in your opinion? Abso-fucking-lutely. Listen, love or hate Terrifier 2, it has made some massive strides this year for indie horror and getting more indie horror films in theaters. I mean, you know, I think someone pointed out the other day that it's like, yeah, you know, like, this movie made a lot of money, but like other movies with lower budgets have made more money. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, but not something that was like released in theaters and is now paving this way for other indie horror movies that are, you know, not fucking rated to be in theaters and also make a bunch of money. That's a big fucking deal for Terrifier 2. So that's why it's so impressive to me. That's honest to God one of the reasons I love it so much. But besides that fact, it's also just a really fucking fun movie. I was in tears laughing from start to finish. Because it's so fucking funny and outrageous. I don't know, when he runs in with the bleach and the salt, that is the funniest shit I've seen in a movie all year. That is so good. That sequence is incredible. I would love if that movie got some kind of just an Oscar nomination for the practical effects. That would be insane. I oddly feel like that's possible, but who knows? But yes, Art the Clown is absolutely an icon now. Clowns. Who would have guessed it? From the late 2010s and the early 2020s, some of the biggest icons are clowns. You never know. You never know what's going to work with people. I had a killer clown idea for the longest time, and I just don't know if I can do it now because there's just so many popular killer clowns. But I have this idea for one in my head, and I don't know. It's very different from Pennywise, and it's kind of like if you met in the middle between a Pennywise and an Art the Clown. But I don't know. I don't think I'll ever do it at this point, but because I feel like you would just people would be like, oh, this is just Terrifier 2 again. But it was a cool idea for a little while, but I don't think I'll ever do it. But maybe in a short. I'm thinking about doing some shorts next year because I really don't want to jump into another movie anytime soon. This has been a lot of fun, but it's the most fun I've ever had that I never want to have again. That's how I've described the experience with Red Right Hand. It's so much fun. I love it. I'm very proud of the work we got done, but man, I am ready to just do YouTube next year. Let me tell you. But yeah, Terrifier 2 was incredible, man. I fucking loved it. I can't wait to get the Steelbook. I really want to watch it. I think I'm going to sign up for Screambox because I want to watch Terrifier 2 again. And there's also like a few other movies very interested in watching on there. There's this movie called, this is just the title of the movie. I don't like saying this word on live streams, but the movie is called Pussy Cake. And I'm very interested in watching that. I've heard very good things about it. So I guess there's some awesome gore in it. I don't even know the concept of it. I'm going to kind of go into it blind, but I've heard very positive reviews. And I guess that's a Screambox original, if I'm remembering correctly. Really want to watch that. I've also, I follow Brad Miska, who is the co-owner of Bloody Disgusting, if I'm remembering correctly. And they recently obtained Screambox, so they've like reformatted the streaming platform and put a bunch of other movies on there. He's been hyping up a lot of the other movies on there. I mean, like, listen, it's the guy who owns it, so of course he's gonna hype up these movies, but the way he's described some of them, I'm actually really curious. So I think I'm gonna check out that streaming platform, see if there's some good stuff on there for sure. But Screambox, very interested in some of the horror flicks on there, for sure. Gabriel is spitting some facts here, saying, such a great year for horror, Terrifier 2, X, Pearl, Barbarian, crazy times we are living in. Absolutely, Gabriel. I mean, all of those movies are, like, so near and dear to my heart. All came out this year. I will be watching these movies for years and years to come, I think. I don't know, man. Maybe it's too early to say this, but 2022, man, seriously one of my favorite years for horror. So Tatum is here. What's up, Tatum? How's it hanging? Hi, Jake. Hi, everyone. What's up? Wes just went live. Thought I would come on here and say, hey, Jake. Wes just went live. Are you talking about like Craven? Craven just went live? Otherwise, I don't know. But welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I didn't think I'd see a... Did not get a message from Craven. We might go live later tonight, but I don't know. I know Katie is here though too. What's up, Poppin' the Popcorn? Katie from the Popcorn Lad. What's up? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. we're talking a little Scream 6. We've been talking about fucking everything the past couple of hours here, but we're gonna get back on track talking a little bit about Scream 6, I guess, or maybe not. I don't know. I just like talking about whatever the hell you guys want to talk about, because I think that's fun. Just like how Zoe's pitching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which looks like a lot of fun. I think this one's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to have time to play video games, because I really want to play at the Evil Dead video game at some point. I saw my friends playing it. I just really haven't had the time to download it and play it myself. I'm really excited to check out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, though, for sure. Oh, getting some important text messages. I think I'm gonna go for 2 hours, though. I'm gonna go for like 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna have to peace out. But I've had just such a good time hanging out with you guys. Love talking horror with all of y'all. Always a good time. What else do we got here? Jake, you made a movie. What's it called, and where can I find it? Yeah, so I'm making this movie called Red Right Hand. It's a Scream fan film. I see everyone's killing it in the chat. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. And I'm sorry I'm talking about this all the time, but it's just something that's really exciting. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Here's one of the posters. Here, I'll take your comment down. Yeah, so this is one of the posters. Here's the other one. Really cool stuff. It's a basic plot description is you follow two killers the entire time. You're gonna know who the killers are in this Scream movie, the whole movie, but they find out that there is, like, as they're trying to go on their own rampage of Ghostface killings, they find out that yet someone else is also fucking killing as a Ghostface and is actually coming after them. They're like, oh shit, we have a target on our back. This person knows who we are for some reason. Don't know how that's possible, but holy shit, it's fucking crazy. Check out the trailer. The trailer is out. The teaser trailer is out there now. You can check it out. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with the overall product. It's a lot of fun. Still has a mystery, like I said, even though you don't know who the killers are, or even though you do know who the killers are from the start. There's yet somebody else out there killing people. So it's very exciting stuff. I'm really excited for you guys to see that one. So. But yeah, it'll be on YouTube on December 20th. We're currently in the editing phase right now. We should be done before the end of November, if all things considered. Hopefully that happens. But I'm really excited for you guys to see it. It's a lot of fun. It's just a really goofy, fun fan film. So, and look at that, Carrie's even throwing it in the chat. So go ahead, check out the teaser, share it around, put it out there. I would appreciate that. So, would appreciate that a whole lot. Are you still waiting for Freddy Krueger? I'm excited to see the new one. Yeah, I'm really excited to see a new Freddy movie. I think a big reason they just haven't done another one is maybe because Robert Englund, maybe they're holding out for Robert Englund. That's kind of my guess. I don't know. I really don't know why else they haven't done one. Especially because, a lot of people dislike the remake. I personally am not a big fan of it myself. But that movie made a shit ton of money. Like, way more than 100 million, and for a slasher at the time, that's pretty good money. I'm shocked they never made another one, honestly. So I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you about Freddy, why there hasn't been a new one. And with all the success of horror from just the past couple of years, I'm really shocked they haven't made a new Nightmare on Elm Street. So would love to see that happen. I would love to see like James Wan tackle it. I know Jordan Peele has said that he's a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. His version of Freddy Krueger would be super interesting to me. I would love to just see anybody do a new Nightmare film. Obviously with Robert Englund is my first choice, but if someone else plays Freddy, I'm down for it. I don't know. I just would love to see a new Nightmare film, man. James Wan too, doing that would be so interesting to me. I love his style. I feel like it would, think about Malignant. Think about like a Malignant-esque Nightmare on Elm Street film. Like that vibe, but Nightmare on Elm Street. That would totally work for me, I think. I would love to see that. I love his style too. He's like my first choice. Jordan Peele, I think, would do an excellent job with a Nightmare on Elm Street film too. He's a comedian at heart, you know what I mean? So his humor implemented into Nightmare on Elm Street, that would totally work. Would love to see that. Freddy is the only icon now to come out and that needs to come out and play. Yeah, I agree. We're probably getting Jason at some point in the future from Poopcock, like I was saying. So hopefully that happens with Jason. But yeah, I really want to see. I agree. I really want to see some more Freddy. I don't know, man. I really want to see Robert Englund come back and play the character, but I'm also like very open-minded to other people playing him. There's a lot of actors I feel like that could do it really well. I know Richard Brake would do an excellent job playing the character. Before this year, I wasn't very familiar with his comedic abilities, but seeing Richard Brake in Barbarian and The Munsters especially has a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith that he could do the character really well, honestly. So I know a lot of people had pitched that before, but I was like, I don't know if he's all that funny. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's got like a sense of humor about him, but Richard Brake can do anything, apparently, is what I learned this year. Not only is he amazing as like the fucking Night King, but like he's also has a sense of humor. He's so versatile as an actor. Oh my God, I want to meet that man. He's incredible. So I think he could kill it as Freddy Krueger. We got Extron pitching Willem Dafoe. Also, that would be an amazing performance. Holy shit. I think Glenn Howerton would do a really good job. I'm trying to think who else besides Robert Englund, of course. I don't know. There's a lot of good people. A lot of great choices, I think, that are around nowadays in the right age range and all that for sure. The concept for Red Right Hand is my shit. I fucks with it. Nice. I'm glad you dig it. I'm glad you dig it. It was just so much fun to make. It's very, very over the top, and it's a really goofy movie. I think it's the only way to approach a concept like that is to make it very over the top and silly. I mean, like 2 people going ghost faced at the same time in the same town. Come on. I mean, you got to make that a little silly and over the top, I think. So I think we handled it pretty well. I think we handled it pretty well, but I'm just excited for you guys to see it. We showed it to someone for the first time yesterday, the half of it that we have done, and they really liked it. I had my very honest friend come and watch it, and they're like, yeah. Is Red Right Hand fuckable? Not the word I would describe it, but I would describe it as fuckable. It's a very gross, very funny, slick slasher. It's very meta, too. Has a lot of just the right amount of meta. It's not super meta, but like it's sprinkled in there at times, you know. It's meta humor that you gotta find, you know. It's not like in your face, but it's still there though, and that's what I like. There's like little nods to things all over the place, not so much through the dialogue, but through like set pieces and through like little references to things. Like there's one Easter egg that I don't think anybody will notice, but it's a very poignant shot, and it's cool. It's very cool. So. Oh man, Nightfall Cinema. I think that would be very interesting. Christian Bale as Freddy Krueger with Batman voice, just to fuck with fans. I honestly don't hate the idea of Christian Bale portraying Freddy Krueger, but I mean, I don't know if that would ever happen. I think it would be cool though. Man, Christian Bale as Freddy Krueger. Can you imagine Patrick Bateman doing fucking Freddy Krueger? That would be so interesting. that would be fucking wild. Oh my God. And Requiem is saying Kane Hodder should play Jason again. Yes. Oh, I wonder how they're gonna handle Jason. I mean, like, I was talking about this earlier, but just to repeat myself, Brian Fuller, the showrunner of Crystal Lake, has said that they can use everything in Crystal Lake. So to me, that comes off as, yeah, they're gonna probably have Jason in there. How are they gonna handle that? Is this gonna be like a tiny Jason, little man baby Jason, or is this gonna be adult Jason again? I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they do. Very curious to see what they do with that. I am excited for Salem's Lot. We had an update about that like a week ago, I want to say. I did not have time to report on it, but I'm excited to see what they do with that for sure. I've always wanted a new version of Salem's Lot. You know, I talked about this earlier, but just once again to reiterate, I feel like a shorter version of Salem's Lot would be very ideal and a good way to modernize it. I'm excited to see if that's what they've done with this new cut of it. I'd be very interested in that. Omni's talking about how Kevin Bacon talked about being Freddy recently. Yeah, he'd be a good choice. Kevin Bacon would do it really well. His daughter in Smile was incredible. Sosie Bacon was so good in that movie. Smile, I feel like conceptually is pretty familiar. Like, we've all seen a movie about someone who gets cursed. They have no idea how to undo it. They think they've undone it, but then they did it, and then they die at the end. I mean, we've seen that movie a million times, but the way Smile does it feels so fresh and so original, and Sosie Bacon's performance is truly just a show stealer. One of the big draws to that movie for me. So I love the biggest thing about Smile to me that I loved is oftentimes in those movies, you don't really see the main character devolve into madness as much as they should. And Sosie Bacon plays it really fucking well. She goes fucking insane in that movie, and it's just really well done. I really enjoyed Smile, so I'm excited to get a second watch on that one too. I'm curious what I might have missed. Ooh, interesting choice, Jake. I think Zachary Quinto could be a good Freddy. Interesting. I'd be very interested in seeing that, but maybe he's sick of getting into costumes for a while. I don't know, man. Zachary Quinto, that'd be an interesting Freddy for sure. He's great in season 2 of American Horror Story as like an Ed Gein style killer. So I'd love to see him do a sillier killer, a sillier killer. Yeah, that's right. I said that correctly. All right, y'all. Well, just a big. I'm gonna answer a few more questions, but then I'm peacing out because Jake is big old tired. Jake needs to take a big nap. I need to take a big long nap. Let me tell you. Next Gen Studios is saying, did you hear we're finally getting a Chucky Christmas special? What? That's awesome. I'm so glad it's about time. This is the first I'm hearing of that. That sounds awesome. I got to catch up on the show. I just had it spoiled for me because no one gives a fuck about spoilers on Twitter anymore, so that sucks, but had a big death spoiled for me on the show, which makes me really sad, but still excited to see how it all shakes out. I don't really know how it all happens, but I'm excited to see the new season. I'm hearing very mixed reviews about season 2. Some people are loving it. Some people are thinking it's really, really off the rails, which has me color me intrigued. So I'm excited to see where season 2 goes. Mr. Flamboyant is saying, who here is excited for John Wick 4? Me, with a big old fucking all the way up there. My hand is all the way up in the fucking sky about John Wick 4. That trailer, I am so intrigued. Cannot wait. Oh, can't wait. And Omni, yes, self-care is something I've been throwing off to the side for months now, and as soon as this movie is over, I'm going to start having to take weekends off because sleep is something I have been without for a little while now, and I can't wait to finally be able to get some good sleep and just be able to rest, man. Oh my God. But I just wanted to thank all of you guys for hanging out with me tonight. All the love to you guys. Always just a blast hanging out with you guys. And thanks for talking spooky stuff with me in the least spookiest month. Like I said, November is pretty much my worst month for the entire year. And you guys are making it a lot of fun. So thank you. Thanks for getting me through this month. So all the love to you guys. Much love. I don't even know. You know what? Make sure to drink a lot of water and get some sleep. There you go. Take some advice that I'm not taking, unfortunately. Eat some carrots, drink some water, do your thing. That's what Zoe always says, and it's good advice. So all the love to you guys. Peace out. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.